Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, guys. Hey, it's Mike here, Drag Driver Pete, but we're in a different booth. We're actually in our neighbor's booth. We're right behind this heat exchangers wall here. But it's crazy. This is the first time we've really been able to spend any time together.
Absolutely.
Luckily, we kind of had a lull in the traffic, and I was like, hey, we got to go over and talk to Eric because, man, you got Boostmaster Wagon here. You've got AFCO stuff, Longacre products. You've got like crazy suspension stuff up front.
A little bit of everything, right?
Yeah, I spent like 45 minutes looking at the thing up front yesterday, just trying to, anyways, that's how it goes. I'm nerd like that,
I
just
understand.
like you are.
Yeah.
You're a nerd on that kind of
Yeah,
stuff too.
we're
so.
an enthusiast, absolutely.
Right.
I've been over to your booth 3 or 4 times as I've had a minute,
Yeah.
and they're 5 or 6 deep with you guys.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to interrupt, but I'm always looking around. So it was good to finally get connected here.
Yeah, I'm excited. So we're live, obviously, here. This is a video that we'll also edit down later for fun stuff. So the first thing I want to talk about is drag and drive. Of course, like we know that it's huge, but how many people have come through this weekend kind of looking for different products or maybe transitioning into a drag and drive role that are kind of looking for a different shock or suspension setup?
Absolutely. In times past, we've had the call or the question of, hey, what do I need for my drag radio car? We're not getting that nearly as much. It's what fits my car, and the question becomes, tell me about your car. Well, it was an X race car, now it's going to be a drag and drive car.
Yeah.
Or I'm building a drag and drive car. So by far and away, that is the biggest demographic that we've talked with here. So it's been really cool.
Yeah, I'm ready to put it on the street.
Yeah.
I'm tired of driving this thing for 4 minutes a weekend. I'm ready to put 400 miles on it.
But when I raced, I spent more money to go faster to spend less time in the car.
Yeah.
And that's somewhat counterproductive.
It's the worst possible thing we can do
right.
to go real fast. So let's talk about slower cars. I love slower cars. That's always fun for me. 10 to 12 second cars, I feel like are a very quick street car. It's obviously the largest group of cars within drag and drive. I mean, it accounts for nearly 20%, and from a 10.0 to 12.99 is nearly 20-25% of the entire market. When you guys are talking to these racers and you're looking at stuff across the board, what are some things that are questions for those guys? Not just guys like this. This is a 6-second street car.
Absolutely.
What are questions those guys are asking?
They want to know what product fits their application. They don't want to spend something. They don't want to spend money twice. So they want to know that what I'm going to buy will work with them, 2 or 3 years down the road. And that's what the question we ask is, where are you at now? Where are you going to be in a few years, so that we have some room to go and grow together? So that's probably one of the big things. The other question will be, are these good enough for the street? Are these shocks good enough for the street? And the answer is absolutely yes, because the componentry that we use, the seals, the bushings, all that stuff, it gets beaten to death on the dirt tracks every weekend through the summer. And so now we put it on the street, and it's going to get road miles. But that's another good question is, hey, are these durable? And then it's, do you have what I need fitment wise? So, those are kind of the top 3 things to get.
Can these things, can I put a trailer behind my car that weighs 1,200 pounds, or is it going to ride right? And I think that is what's great about drag and drive, is because it's really making manufacturers like you guys and the brains behind a lot of this stuff to make work. You're really having to think about all of this, like, because your valving would be different. The way you do your spring would be different, and all that. And used to, those guys would have 2 sets of them in the car, and they would change it. Well, now we're getting to a point you don't have to do that.
Exactly. Sometimes there's a little bit of a compromise, maybe, but a lot of times it's just spending a little more time.
Yeah.
Measure twice, cut once, weigh the car. Let's double check it with the trailer on, the trailer off.
Yeah.
And then we make a good decision to move forward. So it's been a really cool adaptation into this segment of the motorsports aftermarket.
That's awesome. All right, so enough of nerdy stuff there.
Okay.
Let's talk about this monstrosity right here. What's it like having a car, 1, this big in the booth, but then 2, this popular in the booth?
Well, it's interesting because we were working. I'd met Nick Deal through the summer. Okay. And I guess he'd been talking to Steve about switching off to the littles. Okay. And finally, when it came time, Steve said, okay, I want to do the littles. What do I need? Well, he got the checklist. I've known Steve a long time. So we start put this deal together.
Yeah.
And then it comes down to, we need a car for the booth. So I got a hold of Steve. I said, Steve, measure the car. He measured it. And we're 20 wide in the booth. And this thing's at least 20.
Oh, no.
But he measured it without the front end on, without the doghouse on. So I told our graphics people, hey, we've got room. It'll fit.
Plenty, yeah.
But now the car's got the doghouse on it. Okay. So we had to cheat this thing a little bit in the corner. So it's been phenomenal there. But Steve's been so gracious. He's given us time.
That's awesome.
And he's talked with a lot of people, and I just watch him interact with folks.
Yeah.
Patience, grace.
How many times have you heard my mom or my dad had one just like that this weekend?
Our executive vice president of sales has told me that. My wife's parents had one of these things. But yeah, we've heard that before.
That's
you
awesome.
hear that, and then somebody goes, oh my gosh, he sits in the back seat.
Yeah.
And he does. Steve sits in the back seat. So we've heard that, just all the little things. We had a guy just a little while ago go down through here feeling for fiberglass.
Oh my God.
He looked at me and he said, steel? I said, absolutely steel.
Wow, man.
So
what a cool car to be here. What a cool story about it going to radials. I don't know if the folks can see it on the screen, but they're right here. Mickey Thompson just rolled out a new 34.5-inch radial tire.
That's exciting.
Like, it would be interesting to talk with Steve and see if he's like, oh man, maybe I shouldn't have changed all that and kept the big radial. That's going to be a tire that's going to be kind of wild. That's going to be something that a lot of your racers, I'm sure, will be calling about. They're talking about it going faster. That will change up shock settings and all that kind of stuff. So
absolutely,
it's never ending.
That's
we never end building a car, right? So we're always changing things and all of that. And guys, listen, Eric Saffell is one of our favorite folks in all of Drag and Drive. You're probably one of the smartest people that we know. When we come to ask questions, you always have at least a good answer. Like I'm dumb enough to not know if it's right, but I love the way it's presented. It's probably always right, though. I'll tell you that.
I try to make it make sense and be accurate. So absolutely.
It's really been fun. It's been awesome. We've spent some time in the hallway or walkway between them. You guys have been packed this whole weekend, like absolutely jam packed. We tried to do this on Thursday. We were going to do it on Friday.
Right.
Both of us were different times at different places. So
we've seen each other before the show and after the show, thinking, "Hey, we're going to get together."
Oh yeah, 100%. So I'm glad we got this one chance right here. And
absolutely,
man, I've been drooling all over this thing all weekend. So it's cool to be this close to it.
I'm excited for the new season. And happy to be a part of the program with you guys.
We are excited. So that is another announcement. I needed to say that. Thank you for reminding me. AFCO is back for 2026. We're so excited to have you guys back, and that just allows us to learn more. We're going to learn more. We're going to teach more. We're going to find out more and all that kind of stuff.
And we're going to have more fun. Got to have more fun,
dude. Way more fun.
Absolutely,
way more fun. So, all right. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
You.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
All right,
that's pretty
absolutely
cool.
Good. You get that down.